I think we're live, even though that it's not stating it on Facebook, I have a feeling that we're live. There seems to be such a lag time.
Yes.
Okay, so good afternoon or morning or evening, depending on where you're at. We are doing with KK again, who'll be with me every Saturday doing this. So let's get started. Now, I know last week we did mention about people turning in, or if they have a question and they turn in their moon or their astrology chart, that we would answer those. But you know what? I didn't receive any requests. So, KK, I don't know if you have received any requests.
No, I haven't received any request, but one request I think there was in my inbox. I don't know whether it was from this group or somewhere else, but the question was regarding the moon only. Like, what will be the transit of moon from the natal moon? Okay, like the question was like, if someone is having the natal moon in Aries, and right now if moon is in transiting Capricorn, so what will be the effect? So to let you know, here in this kind of a situation, whenever moon is transiting from the natal moon in Vedic system, we take the muhurata with that. Always remember, moon transiting the first house means, that means moon on itself is good. Moon third to it is good. Moon sixth to it, sixth places from itself is good. Moon seventh places from itself is good. Moon 10th places itself is good, and moon 11th places from itself is good. So these six houses, moon is good. Another six houses, moon is not good. So not good in the sense that it will give some kind of emotional or some kind of anxiety, mental related disturbance. So that is one thing. Okay, so I guess I gave the answer here. I don't know who asked this. I forget the name of the person, but only one thing I received. Another thing, so basically we are discussing the transit every Saturday. At this moment of time, the majority of the thing is almost the same. That means the house, majority of the planet did not change the house, but yes, there is changes in the nakshatras. So definitely we are going to talk about that. But here the first thing which I would like to tell you is regarding the moon. Right now, moon is in the Capricorn sign with the dispositor. The dispositor being Saturn. Now, one thing is very important here. Then, whenever Moon and Saturn are in close conjunction, or conjunction is happening in within 5 to 10 degrees. Right now, Moon is in Uttarashada, and after that, Saturn is also in the Uttarashada Pada too, because it is just near the boundary of the Capricorn. It is going retrograde. Whenever Moon and Saturn are in same nakshatra or in close conjunction, we see a turmoil. With whom? With any female or any motherly figure. The thing is like that, Saturn is a little bit harsh planet. It is a karma karka. It is a duty bound entity. Means whatever you do, you have to fulfill the commitment and duty. Be you may be a female, you may be a male, or you may be a third gender. The thing is like that, duty is implied and imposed on everyone. One thing.
Yeah,
But
and I'll jump in here just really quick too. Also, something about Saturn, um, that I know he can bring frustration into our life, and he can bring about situations and circumstances that can really put us at unease and a lot of frustration. However, the lesson here is that we just don't go with the frustration. What we need to do is really become self-aware how and it's frustrating with you, then what are you going to do to fix it? So it's about breaking through those fears. We're not supposed to stay in a situation that is not good. people just look at Saturn and say, oh, this is my fate, right? And just kind of lay down prostrate like, oh, I must suffer. And that's not true. We're supposed to be spiritually as well as self-aware. And this is supposed to teach us how to deal and cope with these and what we need to get out of our life. There are just some things, if a woman is like, for instance, if a woman is being abused, she needs to step out of that situation and not stay within it. And that's the same for men also, anybody who's being abused, right? That's exactly what I'm talking about, taking control of your life. And I know a lot of women
exactly.
now. Go ahead, KK.
You see, Saturn, that is why when we are observing the Saturn in the sky, Saturn is having that ring inside that. That is the area, that is the ring, which is the boundary, that is the frustration. If you can break through that, the moment you are going there, then the sky is the limit. So that is why people, whenever, if someone is getting molested or someone is getting, yes, that fear they have to overcome. And how is going to be that? So that is why it becomes very important for the thing to you break out of your shell, whatever the situation be. Yes, please carry on.
Right. And and I did a blog post on Saturn, and also when I look at the rings of Saturn, definitely when you said boundaries, what I put in there could be a boundary so nobody can come and abuse you or afflict you with any type of pain. And it's a stronghold on your mind. It means really pulling your mind together or controlling thoughts where nobody else can penetrate them. So no matter what somebody else may say, that's just their opinion. They're not God. They have, don't accept what other people have to say. Be independent. And I think that's really interesting because I think Saturn does want us to be of independent thought and independent of behavior. Why would it be exalted in Swati?
Absolutely, absolutely. You see, one thing is very important here when we are looking at the Saturn. Saturn is the outcast. Why? Because he did not took the regime of Sun. He said, no, I will be independent. My father may be a ruler. My father may be the king. My father may be the king. Sun is the king, as we know. Saturn opposes that. Okay, you might be the king. You are the king, but I am not following you. I will make my own rules. So this is also very important to understand the thing. But here at this moment of time, also when Mercury is with Sun, then yes, the thinking process of people will be analytical. They will try to think uh, what the gain, what is the gain in doing something, because Mercury after all is a trader. Whatever he does, he will search for gain. Can you listen me properly? Can you listen to
Yes,
me?
I can hear you. Are
Yes.
you
Okay.
having
Okay.
troubles with your
So
sound?
okay. So one more thing I would like to add on here, because we know that Moon is the illegal parent of Mercury. So you see one wonderful thing is happening. Moon is not very good terms with Mercury. Now Mercury is the Buddhi. Okay, the Buddh we say in Hindi. So Buddhi means intelligent. It is with Sun. So definitely you see these kind of manipulation or these kind of thinking the Sun will have to do, because the thing is it is associated on also the karka for the government. Now you will also see that some policies are coming or some things are coming from the government side, which will tell you something else, try to manipulate the people. And also it is in the fifth house, you see, and Sun is in own house and very powerful right now. So this is one thing. And Like also, I would like to tell you one thing more here, because now they both are out of the Gandanta point. Okay, so sun here, because already the Gandanta is over. Because I consider Gandanta to be in 2 degrees, until 2 degrees. After when it has crossed that certain degree, sun is in the star of Venus. Okay, now this is one thing. Sorry, not Venus. I guess it is in still in Magha. Sorry,
Yeah,
sun is still in the Magha, but soon it will be going in the sign nakshatra of Venus. But
right.
Magha is still indicating the.
Oh, KK, I can't hear you. We're just really having, I'm sorry, you guys, we're having technical problems. Okay, there you go. For some
Okay,
reason, it was on mute. So go ahead.
so sun is still in the Magha. Okay, so
Right.
Magha is the power. Magha is the throne. So still the government or the important person in the government will definitely do such activities or involve the use of mercury to either advertise or manipulate people, because still, and also you see it is a natural fifth house of natural zodiac. The Leo is the fifth house and it means creativity. So
And
government will
and
definitely
also,
do.
don't forget that it still also has a very strong influence on with Mars, because Mars is also in the
Correct.
K2 nakshatra of Ashwini. And also K2 is still in a nakshatra, the Mula nakshatra, which is also K2 ruled.
Right.
So it's not just on the
Exactly.
sun being in Maga by itself, and it is being thrown with other aspects from other planets, but at the same time, especially the planets that are in the same ruled nakshatra really has a big influence on how the events are playing out. And Mars, um, it's a soldier, good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's going to march on, and it wants to win the war. So that we're seeing that in the government still today. They're trying to, even with their manipulation, they're trying to win the war, which I don't think the governments are going to win this time around. My personal opinion. I think Jupiter and Saturn are doing a wonderful job. I think a lot of corruption is
Exactly.
going to come out that we're just not expecting. But I think things are going to be triggered, and we're going to come into some civil unrest, more than what we have already.
Civil unrest, if you're talking about the civil unrest, there are some countries whose actually, when we are looking at the chart and into their chart, like for example, if it is a Leo ascendant rising country, or if it is Sagittarius ascendant country, or even Aries ascendant, that means the country having the fiery sign in their ascendant are already burning. You see, the thing is, right now, recently we had an incident in Sweden. You see, previous to that week, we had an incident in the Middle East. It was burning. It was a fire. Now, whether it was a man-made or it was a natural calamity or due to civil unrest or something, but the houses are burning, the
Yeah.
shops are burning. So these kind of burning burns. You see, Jupiter, a fiery planet in fiery sign, retrograde. Mars, a fiery planet in fiery sign. Sun, a fiery planet in fiery sign. So
And don't
excess
forget
of
we got
fire. You
Mercury
see,
there too.
exactly. That is the
People.
point. You see.
Yes.
So we have so many things going on, and also when we are looking at the retrograded planet, many people will say that retrograde planets are not powerful; they are bad. But no, retrograde planets are extremely powerful because they are giving the raw energy. Now Jupiter and Saturn, huge planets, giants planet, are retrograde right now, because you see the planet which are retrograde are farthest from the sun. Okay, that is why they are retrograde. and they become very close to Earth. Now, when a planet is very close to Earth, that means we are getting the unfiltered, raw vibes or energy of that planet. So this is what is happening here. Saturn is creating a fundamental base, and until it is retrograde in the star of Uttarashada, ruled by Sun, it is agitated. So he is a task maker that it is going to fulfill the thing. Okay. Now also this political unrest or civil unrest or all the things like the government trying to win, I feel no, this can be only left for 20 days, because in 20 days the nodes are changing. There will be a massive change.
There will be.
Yes, sir.
And to remind everybody, the government is, even though the sun may rule the government is supposed to serve the people. They are the servants. They are supposed to do what is right by the people. Saturn rules the how the law and order comes down, right? So Saturn may rule the sun may rule the government, but Saturn, and that's why he does so well again. And in the sign of Libra, he's exalted there. He's all about justice. And so there is going to be a reform in the government. They need to step down and really look at what is good for the people. And that's why all of this corruption's coming on down. You got, as you said, Saturn and Jupiter sitting there retrograde in these very specific nakshatras, and they are pulling out all the corruption. And I know people want to point fingers. People need to stop pointing fingers. Let it just work. Let it be. Spreading hate and anger is not the way to go. We don't need to be doing that. We need to really be united in this. It's just a time for total reform in the world. I'm excited to see what may happen.
See, one thing I would also tell you, all these things, all the drama, okay, the things which are happening right now. Once Rahu and Ketu will transit the sign, this will come to an end, because whatever things they start, whatever thing, be it COVID, coronavirus thing, be it the dispute, be it the corruption coming, okay, be it the manipulation, anything, they do not want it to carry into another sign. The thing is like that. Because especially Rahu, I would like to tell you, Rahu is such a shape shifter that it will, as soon as he is getting the chance, he will change itself completely. So that is why you see all the things after the solar eclipse on the Gemini. You see there have been a majority thing which changed. Why you see this has to be mentioned, because you see when Sun was in Gemini last month,
Mhm.
it was conjunct with Rahu, and there was a Grahan Yoga, the solar eclipse. Now, Sun is the representation or the representative of the government. When it is already the Grahan, the eclipse, that means your image has been destroyed, because it is like a spot on your image. Now, the government will have to give you answers now, which they are avoiding.
Right. Well, and something else, because one thing we do have to remember, though, even though it's shifting signs in the sidereal, you guys, this is sidereal when we're talking about the signs now, because right now, um, in sidereal astrology, Rahu is in Gemini, and he's going to be
Right.
moving into Taurus. Okay, in
Exactly. So,
tropical, it'll be a
I'm
little bit
sorry.
different, but again, we're talking about the same result. Now, however, even though Rahu is shifting signs from Gemini, which is it's a movable and it is about our communication. Gemini is the way we communicate, the lies, but it's also Migashira is all about research, right? And so, and it is
Exactly.
ruled by Mars, so it's got that power of research. So I really do think that we're going to some incredible discoveries are going to be made, and it's going to come out in time. But with it's still Rahu's still in Migashira, even though it's going to a fixed sign, it won't be so movable. But other things can take place now because Rahu is going in the sign of Taurus. And what does Taurus love? Taurus loves love. Right? Taurus loves food, drink, luxury. Right? And no, yes, yes. Yeah, because
Right.
I think there's only like what, one pot or two potas going into Taurus. So
Two
I
padas. Two padas.
two potas.
First
So
two
I
padas.
do think, yes. So I do think that Rahu will slow down a little bit, slow down in a place where the medicines are going to come out. The medicines and whatever they may have found will be appearing at this time. But at the same time, especially in people's personal lives, I think we need to be a little bit careful because Rahu can really bring on some very strong desires, especially when
Exactly.
it starts hitting Rohini. So we also want to be cautious with that too. We can get
100%.
very materialistic at this time.
Hmm. Exactly. Excuse me. Uh, to the viewers, actually, Mrigshira, because Rahu is in the star of Mrigshira right now, and in the because this is a side rail, I was speaking about the side rail, not the tropical, because in tropical, I guess Rahu has already moved. So
Yes.
that I'm very much sorry to tell you all because I am doing a side rail thing. So, but still, it's in the star of Mrigashira.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll get the
So
same result.
coming back to of the thing when we are exactly. So majority of the thing is yes, there might be some violence regarding women. There might be some violence regarding young girls. There may be some community violence, like one community is trying to dominate and other is trying to put in the resistance. So these kind of thing, yes, it will be triggered because of the moon and because it is with the Saturn not very comfortable. But gradually, when moon is moving forward, right now it is in the star of sun, then it will be in the star of its own. That means Shravana. Then the thing will be a little bit calmer because the distance from the moon and Saturn will increase gradually. And
Right.
the final thing, when it is going to move into the sign of Aquarius, then finally it is going to be doing good. One more thing I would like to add on here, because at this moment of time, Rahu is in the star of Mrigshira, dispositor is Mars. Moon will be after some days, 2 or 3 days, will be in the star of Dhanishta, which is also lorded by Mars.
Yes.
And Mars is right now in Ashwini, the star of Ketu. So ultimately, we will think, or we will do something that will relate to deep rooted issues. Because mind is the karka, we become a little bit analytical, or also we might get into some research work, because also Rahu is in Mrigshira and Mrigshira is also research. So
Right.
yes,
Yes.
people should do the research on themselves. Go inside yourself and try to see why you are disturbed.
Right, right. And another really good thing, though, in Danesh, the moon coming in here, especially in the sign of Aquarius, this is about social, right? Aquarius is our nonprofits. This is where we really become concerned and focused on things that are bigger than us, things that are for our communities, um, and for the world, or organizations. So that's something that's really beautiful about Aquarius signs, and Pisces, because that is where we really start focusing on the bigger picture, the world, and our societies. So the moon's really going to trigger that with Moon and Rahu, like, okay, it's time to bring something out for the society. And again, it's about looking in ourselves, in our own in our own little personal world. What are we doing to contribute, bad or good? What are we doing to contribute to society? So we always want to have that focus on what are we saying and what are we doing and what kind of impact does it have on others and not just ourselves. So this really could be, if people
Exactly.
would use the energies correctly, it can be a really, really good healing energies to really clean out things in one's own life. Because the world doesn't get better until we get better as people. So it does
Correct.
start with our individual
Correct.
health. So, but let's talk a little bit now about Venus. Venus has a role in all this.
Exactly. Venus was completely left aside. So yes, now at this moment of time, the last week which we discussed regarding the Venus last Saturday, Venus was in a little bit of confusion. Now it is okay. Now, because we see Venus degree when we're looking at the Nysargic right now, 26 degree, 26 or 26 and a half degree, right, in the sign of Gemini. Now, as it is moving, as it is going to leave the sign, so the distance between Rahu and Venus has already too much. This is the too much to call the proper conjunction. Right now, Venus is independently thinking about itself and about the karakatwas, what it gives. One thing here is still the Rahu's presence will be felt because Rahu's energy is too much, to deal. At this moment of time, when Venus is just about to make a transit, okay, because soon Venus will be in Cancer, right?
Yes.
Okay, so at that moment of time, you see it's already in the Punarvasu nakshatra. Okay, now Punarvasu, different padas will give you different kind of flavor. Okay, one thing we have to take into consideration, like when Venus is in, say for example, in the second pada of Punarvasu, then it is in its own house, in the Navamsha, because Navamsha is also very important to look at here.
Yes.
Now, as soon as it is going to move in the Punarvasu last pada, which is in the Cancer, the Venus will become very much emotional.
You're right. Venus is not the most comfortable in Cancer. And we have to
Right.
remember, Venus is not a Sophic sign. And
It's a
so
Rajasi.
Cancer is going to force Venus to look outside herself and become more of that loving, kind, caring, not so. Cancer doesn't want Venus to be so selfish and self-centered, and we know that Venus can get that way. Hence why it rules Taurus. So Venus is not very comfortable in this sign. It just doesn't work well with her energy. So you're right. Venus is going to become very emotional. So wherever we have Venus in our
Now,
charts, look out.
uh, I would also like to give one suggestion to the audience here and the viewers here. See, Venus represents your spouse, especially for a man's chart. Venus is the wife. Okay, so please, man out there, take care of your wife and do not make her cry. this is the humble request, because the thing is, if you are arguing and putting up discussions with her, she is not going to listen, because at this moment of time she is in a emotional state of mind. So try to calm her down, rather than giving her false excitement and illusion. So this I request my all the viewers, because
Right.
you see.
And the same goes with men. I tell you what, and watch our moon cycles. I did a moon episode yesterday on my YouTube. But now with Venus being in the sign of Cancer, and yeah, if the women get emotional, the women also though need to take personal responsibility, and they really need to do some soul searching. Why are they getting so emotional? And maybe they're missing something in their life that they need to tend to. Maybe they need to spend some time with girlfriends, right? Or maybe they need to go play some sports, or maybe go watch a movie. So there are other things than just depending upon the man to make them happy. And so this, I think, is a great opportunity to do that. But also don't forget that this is going to affect the men personally too, because everybody's got that Venus energy in their chart. And men, I have to tell you, if you're starting to get emotional, then go mow the lawn, or go do something that you're really good at. But be active, because if you get emotional, it just means that you need to raise your testosterone. And by doing something constructive that you're good at, that's something that contributes to the world and to the household, will bring you right back into balance. Women is all about receiving, men it's all about doing. I can't express that enough. It's just so true.
Exactly. Now, why is it happening? We have to see the logic here, because see, Venus is in the star of Punarvasu. The Lord Jupiter is retrograde. Again, it is going to be in the sign of Cancer, a emotional sign, a watery sign. Another thing which Venus after the sign of Punarvasu will be in the star of Punarvasu. After it will go in the star of Pushya.
Yes.
Again, the Lord Pushya is retrograde. So there will be, like, it won't clear off once, because retrograde planet is always looking backward. Means once you go ahead, and then again you have to look backward. So there will be a series of emotional outbursts. You see, the thing will be like that. Like, say for example, one thing is stopped. Okay, now you are okay. Again something will trigger, and again you are emotional. So yes, you have to come out of that vicious circle. That is why go for physical activity, hit the gym, go for a walk, go for running, and whatever Samantha told. The guys also, I'm telling you, okay, because yes, we all have the Venus inside us,
Yes.
right?
And this is amazing. As we're talking about this, I know that me and KK was talking about it before we actually started the live. And I know I've gotten so many complaints, and I've actually been complaining too about the nonsensical messages all over our social medias. What the guys are doing to the women is absolutely amazing. And as we're sitting here and we're talking, I'm looking, kind of at my side screen, and I just got just these messages coming in left and right. Just pictures saying you're beautiful and I love you, etc. And it's just absolutely just amazing how these planets actually trigger it. And it's that moon with the Saturn right now, and Rahu's not helping things. So ladies, when you're getting these messages, delete, block, delete, block. I don't know what else to tell you. That's what you need to do, because right now it's just being triggered by our current transits. And watch out when, when Rahu goes into Taurus, or we're going to get some more of that, the very same thing.
Exactly. So because see, this is a thing. What is Mars is triggering the same aggressiveness. Yes, you don't. Men people like, okay, you can't wait. Just okay, just sending I love you message and all the nonsense. But it's okay. See, the fault is the transit is so beautiful. That is why we do a weekly video here, and that is it is so wonderful talking to you, Samantha. Every day we are looking something new, and yes, and this does matter us because ultimately we are the cosmic dust, right? So these planets, when they are moving into certain stars, certain nakshatra, they will trigger activities. They will trigger some events which will directly or indirectly affect us and our life. That is the whole beauty of astrology, and what else we can say.
It really is.
So
It brings in self-awareness, and I have to, and I do express this to anybody and everybody I talk to. Really, I use astrology for self-awareness, and I know, if we know what's going to be triggered, and we understand where the moon's at and the planets are, understand that certain things are going to be triggered. Those are the times when we're triggered that we can go in and do that inner work, and um, and work on that trigger where it doesn't trigger us anymore. Right? It's all about self-development, right? If we don't learn how to master our thoughts and our minds, this is what it's all about. This is what astrology should be used for.
100%, because astrology is the divine light with which we can guide the people and guide ourselves also, the things like that. Okay, I guess we have covered all the planets. Now we should discuss the moon's transit for the coming week, and then
Perfect.
uh, okay, Samantha, you can just start with the thing, then I will add on points.
Pull it up here. So what do we got? Today's the 29th. I didn't get it quite pulled up here. So what we got, so obviously right now, we got the moon. Oh my goodness, it is. Let me see. Well, as 11:30 today, it is right on top of Saturn as we're talking. But I'm just
I
gonna kind of pull it up, everything here.
see
Yeah.
that this that is why the Panchanga is very important. You see, now people who don't know about the Panchanga in USA, that is the five limbs. I will definitely explain one day. We will definitely do a session together to explain you the Panchanga. It is actually the moon and sun's movement. See, every time moon is a very fast moving planet because that is the speed with which you can think. Okay, so one thing here is very important to see that the whole day is beautiful, and suddenly one event or one moment will give you a lot of tension, and the whole enjoyment and the whole feeling will go down in 1 second. Why is it happening? Just see the Panchanga. Did the moon change its nakshatra? Might be. Everything is fine, and all of a sudden everything is bad. Why? This is the speciality of the moon transiting very fast.
Right,
So
right.
then,
We really are.
exactly,
We're ruled by the moon, our emotions. If we wake up on the wrong side of the bed, well, it's because really the moon is in a very particular pada in a nakshatra. And then maybe as the days like, well, my day started out bad, but you know what? It ended up really good. And that's because the moon probably shifted signs, or nakshatras, right? So that's just, so
exactly.
we are really, you guys, we're built of energy. Our whole body, our emotions, and our thoughts are energy. And I have been studying, and I'm going to be even taking courses. I'm going to become certified as a pranic healer. Prana, our life force, our breath, because really we
Right.
are completely um, um, our events, our emotions and thoughts are all ruled, or I don't want to say ruled, but every planet affects our energy in every way,
Influence.
capacity. And we
Exactly.
really need to realize we're
Exactly.
energy. We need to control that energy.
100%. Exactly. Okay.
So the next nakshatra though, for that'll be tomorrow. It's going to be in Shravana. that's a moon ruled nakshatra. And I know that it's going to come on top of my moon and, excuse me, not moon, my Mars and Rahu in my chart. I got trines in the moon nakshatras. So the moon is going to be a little bit more pleasant in this. But this, one thing about Shravana is that,
Ravana.
it's about teaching us to listen for the truth, going within inside and listen. It's the ear, it's listening for the truth, our own truth, not what somebody else tells us. Stabilizing that mind, becoming still, and listening for, really, our own truth. That's one of the big things I know that at least I've learned in this nakshatra. What it
Exactly. And Shravana is a very wonderful and very good nakshatra, and moon actually loves to be in Shravana. But only one thing is there. Yes, listen very carefully. If you are not listening even to a single or minute, the little bit of the information, that may lead to a grave misunderstanding. So that is why Shravana is related to listening and the ability to listen and to learn. The deity related to Shravana is Lord Vishnu. Okay. Now he is one of the Holy Trinity, very strong, very powerful. So moon here, it is very good. So see, when Shravana ends, Dhanishta starts. Now, as soon as the Dhanishta starts, the moon's focus here at this moment of time, Dhanishta is the most wealthiest star of all the star in the 27 star. The moon's focus will be into making money or managing money. Okay. Dhanishta is ruled by Mars, the planet, and also Dhanishta is the Rakshasa Gana. Okay. Because this is a temperament of that nakshatra that is a little bit, harsh, but it will give you a lot of success and money if you are trying to do any kind of business deal on that day. When moon is in Dhanishta, then yes, you might get good result. But especially if that Dhanishta happens to be in Aquarius, not in Capricorn.
Right. And something else I have to say now, this is a Mars ruled sign, and excuse me, nakshatra. And so you got to also look at where Mars is at, right? Not just
Exactly.
Saturn. So remember, Saturn is still a little bit retrograde, a lot retrograde. But Mars is in Ashwini, nakshatra. So your mind might be a little bit unsettled because it's going to want to propel forward because Mars is really, really strong. But then it's still in the house, at least when it first gets in there, it's in the house of Capricorn, and Saturn's putting the brakes on it. So you're going to feel that internal struggle. All I have to say though, with Saturn being retrograde, you guys, that please double check before you decide to get yourself into any type of contracts, any type of business contracts. Double look, double check it out, check it out again, twice, three times, because, when a planet is retrograde, it's all about re-looking at something, revisiting something. It can have a
Looking
really
correct.
karmic type
Correct.
of feel to it, because sometimes we'll sign contracts and it will be something that we weren't expecting, or there'll be a hidden cost in it, and that that Saturn's working on that. So just be really careful, because your mind is going to want to do it.
100%.
It's going to feel strong. It's got Mars. He's our soldier. He wants to move, and he's got the power to do it right now. He's in Ashini.
Exactly. Exactly. So yes, and after that, moon will be moving into Shatbisha.
Shatabisha.
Many people say exactly Satabishak. So many people will say now this is a very bad star or something like that. But I tell personally this star is good. Why it is good? Because there it gives you the ability to fight off the difficult situations. Okay, because this we have to understand the DT here. The deity associated here is the Varuna. The Varuna is the lord of the seas and the oceans.
Yet the
Now he
terrestrial
is
water,
very strong.
cosmic waters, right?
Cosmic water, you see.
People
So
mistake,
you have
yeah, they
that
think
strength.
that this guy is pouring out water. He's not. This is cosmic water, right? So this is about again a society. So, and Rahu is desire. And look at the society. Also, what does the society desire? So it's not, we're not supposed to be
Correct.
going after our own desires. What does the population need? What does our country need? What does our world need? So this can be very, very beneficial, especially with Rahu in the position he's in right now.
Correct. And after that, moon will be into the nakshatra again of ruled by Jupiter, and it will be in Purva Bhadra. Now, Purva Bhadra is a little bit gentle star, and we have the three padas in Aquarius and last pada in the Pisces. So yes, again, as I have mentioned many a times, that whenever these lords are retrograde, do watch out things many a times, double, triple, and do multiple times check. Okay. Then after that, yes, Samantha, if you want to add something on this.
So, one thing about the Purvabhadra, it's not the easiest nakshatra, but at the same time, um, Jupiter and the moon go easy with each other. That's not, I don't think Jupiter and moon are enemies.
No,
So
no,
the moon's going to be a
never.
little bit easier here, and Jupiter is right now, as you said, retrograde, and it's really digging out all of the corruption that is in our government, that's in our justice system. So I think that this is all about really just being careful, what truth that we're wrapping ourselves around. I mean, it's the detail, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the serpent on Aja Akapad. Is that how you pronounce it?
Uh,
That's a serpent.
yes, exactly. So everything when see, like as the moon again will be moving into the sign of Purva Bhadra, which is ruled by Saturn. Again, you see they are complementary to each other.
Yes.
Uttar Bhadra and Purva Bhadra, they are complementary to each other. So see, all the things will be carry forward, but will be done in a different manner. Again, you see Saturn is retrograde, and the same theme will be played. So I think this is okay. And after that, the final nakshatra will be a Revati nakshatra. Now,
Yeah.
Revati nakshatra is the wonderful nakshatra for moon to be in. Very good, pious nakshatra. And its lord Mercury is with Sun, with its own friend. You have to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
And also, Revati is a nakshatra where Venus gets into deep exaltation.
Yes.
And Mercury by that time will be, I guess, in Purva Ashada. Sorry, Purva Falguni. I beg your pardon.
Purva.
By that time,
Now,
Mercury
where's
might
Mercury? No,
go
wait a
into
minute.
Purva Falguni.
Um, Hold on. Mercury right now is in Purva Falguni. So yeah, you're right. Mercury will start in Purva
Exactly. That it
Falguni.
will be in it exactly. It will be still in Purva Falguni. So you see now at that moment of time, that environment at means till that period when moon will be transiting the Revati nakshatra, that will be the most wonderful time person will have, because you see the energy of Mercury. Mercury is in the star of Venus. Venus, yes, then at that moment of time it will be in Punarvasu only, but the thing is it is still, you see, moon is in a very good star, and also the houses of the Jupiter, so moon and Jupiter are always very good friends. So this is the whole nakshatra till Revati, and I guess I don't have anything to add more. Do you have anything, Samantha? So then
No,
we
I
can
think that we
proceed.
covered all of it. It just basically though, if we could just kind of look at the flow of how it's going and where how the moon is triggering from one event on top of another event on top of another event. These events are not singular, right? They feed on each other.
Correct.
So, and right now, the
Exactly.
biggest events, though, that are happening, of course, worldwide, again, is the government. And you're going to see more and more corruption come out. And things won't really start really settling down um, until Jupiter and Saturn, I think it's the end of September, start moving forward again. And then we're going to really start seeing our economy and everybody be able to move forward and some new things come out. Brand new things will come out. But just kind of look at the theme as the moon
Absolutely.
is going through these different nakshatras. It's a huge theme that plays out, one thing on top of another thing in our life. So it triggers every day, triggers something. Even the smallest things,
Exactly.
from losing weight to, meditation to eating
Exactly. Exactly.
habits. It's these type of things that we're talking about. These are the type of things that you guys should pay attention to because that's what really brings in the self-awareness. So yeah, and I think that we're going to the population, the public. I think when the moon comes into Aquarius and goes into Pisces, there people are going to start not being so focused on themselves and looking out a little bit more on what they can do with society. So I think it's going to trigger some of that in people's lives.
100%. Exactly. This is going to happen and we will witness it. Okay.
Okay, so I think I'm done. And if you're done, I think it's a wrap for today. So I will see
Exactly.
everybody next week at the same time, 1 p.m. Me and KK will be doing the weekly transits. And please let us know if there's something specific you want us to cover. We don't know unless you tell us. So just leave a comment at the end of the video and then we will address it and talk about it on next week. So without communication, we're not sure if we're covering all the topics that really work for you guys and that you want to know. So I will see you guys. I know that I've had several people sign up for my group on Monday, so I'll be seeing you guys Monday. And other than that, my next live will be on Friday. So